And Stephen, you are on.
All right. Thank you, Mark. I'd like to thank Ms. Bonnell and Mr. Durgo for your presentations and their overviews. That was good information. I want to talk today about some funding opportunities that are currently available. As before, please hold all questions until the end. Slide, please. This first opportunity is the AFRL Rocket Lab Hermes. This is being put out by the Aerospace Systems Directorate. This is a broad agency announcement that was released in 2020 and is not coming due until 2027. For funding, I was not able to find a total program funding amount, but there will be multiple awards of varying contract duration and value. They did say that no award will go over 100 million. For the technical side of the house, they're looking for topics addressed within three main areas. That is solid rocket motors, liquid rocket engines, and air-breathing turbine engines. Within each one of those are various subtopics. For example, solid rocket motors, they're looking for development and demonstration of the components themselves, the design of modeling and simulation software to describe the physical processes that go on, as well as development and testing of rocket motors relevant to Air Force missions, such as air launch missiles, air launch boosters for high-speed applications, or hypersonics. For the liquid rocket engines, that can include disruptive engine concepts for liquid propellant engines, modularity of components, materials and manufacturing, et cetera. For the air turbine engine, that is R&D to validate advanced technologies such as high payoff engine concepts and components, shared engine and aircraft thermal management systems, et cetera. Next slide, please. This opportunity is the robust and efficient computing architectures, algorithms, and applications for embedded deep learning. This is put out by the Information Directorate of AFRL. This was released a few years ago in 2019 and is quickly coming due next month on the 30th. Program funding is capped at 99 million with individual awards between 1 to 3 mil, typically for a period of 3 years. They are looking for unconventional architectures that will pave the way for capabilities in pattern recognition, event reasoning, decision-making, adaptive learning, and autonomous tasking. This is for real-time embedded plug-and-play capabilities. One major focus area of this is neuromorphic computing. And finally, priority will be given to submissions that optimize size, weight, and power requirements. Next slide. This one is the Advancing Computing Technology and Applications. I will say this is similar to the previous one. This is actually put out by the same office, but the timeline is a little bit more agreeable. This was also released in 2019, but is not due until 29 September of next year. Similar funding amount, 99.9 million for the program. Individual awards, though, will be between 1 to 5 million, and award contracts will be about 3 years or so. For the technical side of the house, they're also looking for innovative computer architectures that can include digital signal processing, field programmable gate array devices, and graphics processing units. Neuromorphic computing, again, going to be a big thing here, and nanocomputing. For that, they are looking to explore nanoelectronics and nanophotonics for information processing. And as the previous opportunity, submissions will be given priority that optimize size, weight, and power. Next slide, please. Okay, I apologize ahead of time for the verbose acronyms on this one. This one's a bit much. This is the Advancing Systems of Systems Technologies for Rapid Adoption, or ASTRA, also put out by the Information Directorate of AFRL. This is a advanced research announcement that was just released last month. It is not due until 2028. This is rolling submissions, however. So for FY24, if you get your white paper in by 27 October, you will capture that year. But if that's not enough time, you can also shoot for 16 September for FY25. Program funding for this is capped at 200 million, and individual awards will be between 1 to 25 million per award, not exceeding 5 years in length. For the technical side, they are looking for innovative research to enable rapid integration of SOS and generation of test of that mouthful of an acronym called STITCHES. Props to whoever came up with that one. White paper shall outline system architecting approach to basically integrate new technologies without requiring significant re-engineering. They will also outline how to implement open system architecture standards and describe methods to improve the ability of the US military to integrate new technologies to remain #1 in the world. Next slide, please. Okay, this one is the Artificial Intelligence Cyber Challenge. This is a directed phase 2 SBIR solicitation being put out by the Information Innovation Office of DARPA. This was just released a few days ago and is coming due on the 19th of next month. Because this just came out, DARPA has not released official documentation that details the funding amount, so I cannot speak to that yet. But for the technical side, they are looking to leverage advancements in AI and machine learning to find and fix software vulnerabilities. This is to be used with large language models. One example, which you all have heard of, is ChatGPT. Phase 2 will also include a test and evaluation where you must demonstrate efficacy against AVD&R, which stands for Automatic Vulnerability Discovery and Remediation. The overarching objective of this solicitation is to innovate at the intersection of AVD&R and AI, to secure code that underpins critical infrastructure. We have all heard of the software-based attacks that have been happening on our infrastructure systems. DARPA is trying to get ahead of the curve here by utilizing AI to help us in this fight. I will say this is going to be a major area of concern in the next big conflict. So if you have any expertise in this, please submit. Next slide. Okay, these next couple of slides will cover research grants. This first one is the Multidisciplinary Research Program of the University Research Initiative, or MURI. This is put out by the Air Force Office of Scientific Research and is specifically intended for science and engineering degree granting IHEs. It stands for Institutions of Higher Education. This was released earlier this year and will be due in 8 September. Funding for this is capped at $276 million, with awards between 1 to 7.5 for roughly 3-year period. For the technical side, they are looking for research addressing math paradigms for data integration, modeling, and decision-making, as well as modeling reflecting multi-level resonance. There are 7 other topics that are specific to the Air Force. I will say that if you do look through this and none of the Air Force topics suit your fancy, there are some that are for the Office of Naval Research and Army Research Office. So I know we dote on the Air Force quite a bit, but let's not forget the Navy and Army they're still a thing. So next slide, please. Okay, this last research grant, this is Process Systems, Reaction Engineering, and Molecular Thermodynamics. This is put out by the National Science Foundation. That is intended for anybody, no restrictions on this one. This was put out on 18 June, and I was unable to find a due date, so please submit a proposal anytime, or at least as supplies last, which is the 4.9 million for the program. Proposals will focus on chemical reaction engineering, process design, polymer processing, molecular thermodynamics. The process design topic does include modeling and optimization theory and algorithms. So that's all for this one. Next slide, please. Okay, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the active BAAs that are available for the DoD. These came from the DSIP website, which I have linked at the bottom of the slide. At the time I made these slides, there were 19 available topics. As of today, that is now out of date. SBIR 2023.3 and STTR 2023.C were just released. So there are new opportunities out there. Please go check them out. Next slide, please. And this will wrap up the presentation. Here are some helpful links, sam.gov and grants.gov. This is where I'm getting the details for these solicitations and research grants. Next few slides are specifically for SBIR and STTR solicitations, mostly for the DoD and NASA, 2 of the federal giants that we work with. And finally, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the Ohio FRN website. My team can help out with identifying opportunities, matchmaking, and proposal development. And also one last shout out to our partners at APEX, or the Academic Partnership Engagement Experience. SBIR and STTR is their bread and butter, and they have personnel where their entire job is to help clients navigate the process of submitting these proposals. So please check them out if that interests you. We can open up for any questions at this time. Otherwise, I'll turn it back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Stephen. We'll see if we have any questions here. So Anita does actually have some feedback for you. So, and Rick, why don't you go ahead and see your hands up?
Hey, Stephen, I didn't see any information on the Astra chart. Did that come from a specific TD? within AFRL, or what's the home organization for that effort? Over.
That is also from the Information Directorate.
All right, got it. All right, thanks.
Yes. Anita, thank you for clarifying that.
All right. Any other questions, comments? I think is there another slide, Emma, or is that it?
Nope, this is the last one.
Okay. All right. Well, we can leave that up then for here while we close out. Thank you so much to everybody joining for today. And as Stephen mentioned, whether it's the Ohio Federal Research Network, whether it's our sister organization, APEX, which is a partnership intermediate agreement for the Department of the Air Force, Parallax Advanced Research, or the Ohio Aerospace Institute, we're all here to help you and to try to make you successful when it comes to any of these opportunities. So hopefully you enjoyed both of our presentations today from Alexis Bunnell and Bob Durgo, and we thank them, of course, for taking the time out to provide some information on those opportunities. And we'll be looking forward to getting our formal announcement out on round 6 for OFRN, and we'll let you know when the next one of these is going to be taking place. So other than that, thank you very much. I know school has started for Stephen, so thanks, Stephen, for your time today. That happened yesterday. And thank you for serving as an airman. And thank you to everybody who took the time out to join this morning. So have a great week. Have a great fall, and looking forward to football starting. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much.